Hey everybody, it's Bill Peterson. Say, one of the things that I'm going to work on this weekend is I'm going to put a patch in that truck right down there by the where the cage nut holds the fender on the top one. I tried to repair it as best I could, but it really needs to be cut out of there, patched in with a new cage nut welded into that place. So I'm going to do that. That's one thing that I need to do. And then the other thing I'm going to do is get this truck primed. And I've coated the surface all with it with an acid to keep it from flash rusting after I've got rid of the rust the first time. So I'm gonna smooth that out, and then I'm gonna prime it with an Eastwood product, an epoxy primer that you can roll on. I've been doing a lot of research on this. I know there's some purists that would say don't do that, but there's been a lot of people that say, this is a pretty acceptable way to go, and you'll end up with a good product if you do it this way. And then I can do the body work on it, or a little additional body work. I can smooth out the panels, sand them, and then get it ready to reprime, and at some point paint. But getting it primed, I think, is a big step for me. So that's what we're going to work on this weekend, and I'll show you that as we go. So if you're having a good time with the channel, give us a like, tell your friends about us. We're really enjoying you coming along with us on this project, and we'll see you in the comments. Okay, so I've cut a patch, got a cage nut, gonna weld it in. And I'm gonna weld this cage nut into this piece first because it'll fit better, and it might even help hold this thing in the hole when I go to weld it in. So I'll do that next. Okay, so that's what I got going. Let's see what the welder's on. That's what that looks like right there. I'm gonna tack that in and call it a night. Well, that's as much as I'm doing tonight. It looks like that cage nut came out of there a little bit off of that ridge than I needed it. So it's probably not gonna be in the right spot. So I'll probably have compounded my problems, but that's the way only way I know how to do things is to keep making them worse. Anyway, we'll catch back up with you soon. So I'm working on my truck this morning. Little final welding, a little bit of hammer and dolly work. I'm going to put primer on this weekend, come hell or high water, so that I don't have to worry about it rusting on me. If it takes me another 10 years to finish it, who knows? I don't really know how long this is going to take. But I noticed that while I was welding on it right in the back, I smelled something burning. And man, that was my good shop towel. That was a full-size bath towel. It was a really nice one. And I'm really sad that I lost my towel. And I thought I had it put out with just a couple of singes around the corners of it, but I took my mind off it and my eye off it, and it continued to smolder. So I'm going to declare this a total loss, and it makes me sad. Anyway, we'll take you along with the ride on this whole thing. I'm going to start doing some work on it to get I've got that phosphate or phosphoric acid, whatever that stuff is. It's called Afterblast or OSPHO. so that when I did get the rust off it the first time, it wouldn't re-corrode. Now the experts say that you can paint over it, but there's some spots where it's extra thick, so I'm gonna grind it all off or sand it off. And then I'm gonna use a product that's gonna be controversial, I know, with some of you, or as somebody that's doing body work, but I'm a shade tree guy, so we're going with the Eastwood Optiflow roll-on paint system, which is epoxy primer that is going to get rolled on. And then they give you some spray for the other parts. I'm going to finish this gas tank pan up with that black truck spray that I put on the underside of it. So that'll be completely encased in that goop. And I won't have to worry about it. And then all this stuff is going to get sound deadener and I don't know what all else. But that's what we got going on today. And it's been fun. And it's going to be a milestone to put this thing in primer and get it done for the winter or bird season, or whatever. I mean, hunting season's coming up and you know I don't work on it then. So anyway, we'll take you along with us. Okay, so I have ground, sanded, scraped, done everything that I can do to get all the old paint and rust off this thing. And I'm going to put epoxy primer on it, like I said. I'm going to hit it with some pre-painting prep, get all the grease and whatever residue might have been left on it from the sanding and the scraping. And then I'm going to use this system from Eastwood, and we'll see how it goes. I've done a lot of research onto it, and it seems to be a pretty solid plan. It's not like I'm taking it to a professional auto paint store or body shop, but this is what I'm going to do, so we're just going to go from there. All right, I also want to spray that with that truck liner, bed liner, so that's what I'm going to do. I got this already prepped and go. I didn't have any paint trays for the roll-on stuff, so Susan traded me one job for another. She went to get those, some of the inserts, and while she was gone, I did something for her, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to roll this primer on. And they also sell, I'll show you this in a minute, but they also sell spray for the things that the roll-on can't get into. So we'll do this, and then I'll show you that. Okay, so that's how that came out, and I'm going to be happy with it. That's nice. All right, I see to mix this in a 1-to-1 ratio, so that's what I'm going to do. And we'll go from there. I said don't mix more than you can use in 20 minutes. It's thinner than I thought it would be. We're going to start on the roof of this truck and go from there. Probably down the back. Way different than I thought it would be. Okay, so it needs another coat tomorrow, and it needs some of the runs worked on. And of course, you know, the stuff you put, then you put body filler over it, and you sand all that, then you prime it again, and you paint it. But there's a lot. I just wanted to get this on to protect the truck while it's in the shop until I get ready to do the body work and the paint. And I don't know when exactly any of that will happen. But at least now it's primed inside and out, and I'm satisfied that it'll be protected, and I'm not worried about having the bare metal out here getting anything on it that will rust it or corrode it now. So that's a big step. Anyway, if you're having fun with this channel, give us a like, tell your friends about us. We'll see you in the comments, and have a good weekend.